Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com coming to you with our Tuesday 3-pack video for January 15th. 3 plays on the college basketball hardwood here for tonight's action. We'll get to those in a couple of seconds. After I tell you about everything great that's going on over at BangTheBook.com right now, Kyle Hunter's updated daily college basketball picks posted for today's action. Parker Michaels' daily NHL picks updated as well. We've got full wall-to-wall coverage coming for you this week on the 2 playoff games in the NFL, AFC Championship between the Patriots and the Chiefs, NFC Championship between the Rams and the Saints. We've got college basketball and NBA stuff over there on a daily basis. Golf picks, tennis picks, you name it, we've got it over at BangTheBook.com. We are your one-stop shop for sports betting news and information. Don't forget about our free pick contests as well. You can sign up and win some cash prizes in those. And, of course, our daily radio show, Bang the Book Radio. Good edition here on Tuesday with Brian Blessing and Rolf Michaels. Talked NFL, NHL, golf, and college basketball on today's show. So if you missed that, plenty of time to catch up on that, of course. But, of course, you can find those segments right here on our YouTube page or iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, you name it. You can find Bang the Book Radio there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Tuesday 3-pack. Getting ahead of myself here. I guess I'm looking forward to the weekend a little bit too much. But our Tuesday 3-pack for January 15th, again, 3 games from the college hardwood. Tried very hard to find an NBA or an NHL play that I liked for tonight. But, in the NBA, the closest thing I had was the Lakers. They're a 7-point favorite against the Bulls. Bulls with a couple of nights off in Los Angeles to get in trouble. Obviously, more infighting going on with that team. The Boylan extension, I don't really get that a whole lot. But, the Lakers can't even win without LeBron, let alone cover numbers without LeBron. So that was the closest I had in the NBA tonight. Couple of plays I like in the NHL, but they're a little bit too chalky for the video purposes here today because I know a lot of people don't like to lay big chalks. So check out my situational betting articles over at BangTheBook.com for the NBA and the NHL. Static URLs with those, so you can just simply bookmark those, check them out every Sunday night or Monday morning after they've been updated. Give you some idea of some plays in those 2 respective betting markets. But in any event, 3 plays I do like the most here tonight in the Tuesday 3-pack. We'll start in the Atlantic 10. The St. Louis Billikens on the road against the Fordham Rams. St. Louis a 7.5-point favorite in this game. Total of 122.5. I'm going to lay the big number here tonight with St. Louis. Very scary, obviously, to lay a 3-possession line with a total of 122.5. But a lot of things I do like about St. Louis in this spot here tonight. For one thing, Fordham's 2 highest usage players, both freshmen, and they're going up against an elite St. Louis defense here that ranks 12th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency per Bart Torvik. Their effective field goal percentage defense ranks 29th. They're top 50 in forcing turnovers defensively, top 40 in 2-point defense, top 60 in 3-point defense. So with an offense run by a couple of freshmen there for Fordham, very worried about their ability to generate high percentage shots and even take care of the basketball in tonight's game. Now, Fordham is a solid defensive team, but they're mostly good defensively out on the perimeter, where they're holding opponents to 29.3% from the floor, from 3-point range. But St. Louis is 333rd in the country in 3-point rate. So they're 333rd in percentage of field goals coming from beyond the 3-point line. So they take a lot of 2-point shots, where Fordham is much weaker in that department. The Rams, they don't rank very high in tempo. They're 340th in the country. But a lot of times what you'll see in these games is that the better team will dictate tempo. St. Louis, the better team, they're a little bit more around an average tempo. If they get Fordham to speed up a little bit, that's just an extra number of possessions in which St. Louis will have the advantage. So low total, but yes, I'm still going to lay the number here with St. Louis minus 7.5 against Fordham. We go to the Mo Valley now, the Missouri Valley Conference. Game 631, 632. Valparaiso takes on Loyola Chicago. The Ramblers a 9-point favorite at home in this one. Total of 127. Valpo off to a nice 4-0 start here in Missouri Valley play. Couple point win over Illinois State. 16-point win over Missouri State. 11-point win over Bradley. And a 4-point win over Southern Illinois. In that game, though, Valpo gave up 22 offensive rebounds. still found a way to come away with the victory against Southern Illinois. So one of the reasons why we're seeing a big number here, even though Valparaiso has played very well to this point in time, is that their record may be a little bit smoke and mirrors here, especially in the Missouri Valley Conference. Now you look at Valpo in the season here, 139th in adjusted defensive efficiency per KenPom, 152nd per Bart Torvik, and in tonight's game they take on a Loyola Chicago defense that is very, very good, 26th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency per Bart Torvik, 37th per KenPom. Loyola Chicago 320th in tempo per KenPom, 318th over at Bart Torvik's website. What did I just mention about that St. Louis and Fordham game? Usually the better team will dictate the tempo. In this case, the better team is Loyola Chicago. They should dictate the tempo, really slow this game down quite a bit. And, it's not like Valpo runs fast either. 293rd per KenPom, 305th per Torvik. So, I think this is a game where we've got a very limited number of possessions, not a whole lot of open looks for either side, because Loyola Chicago's not a particularly efficient offensive team right now either. Very good defensively, not so great offensively. Valpo doesn't really shine in either one of those areas. So we've got a low-tempo game, a really good defense for Loyola, an above-average defense for Valpo, couple of below-average offenses here. I really don't expect either one of these teams to light up the scoreboard. Loyola Chicago also 317th in the country in free throw percentage. So they're not even helping themselves at the charity stripe all that often. Good defense, not many free points. Valpo's not a good rebounding team, but Loyola Chicago 351st in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. So I don't think they get the second chance looks that Southern Illinois got. And even then, that game was only a total of 126 points, 65-61 win for Valparaiso. So I think this one does stay under the total. I think this is your quintessential ugly Missouri Valley type of game. It's what Loyola Chicago wants. That's how they win games here in this conference, and how, as we saw last year in March Madness, how they won games there as well. So we'll take the under in game 631, 632, Valparaiso and Loyola Chicago, under 127. We got the A-10, we got the Missouri Valley. We'll take a look at one of the bigger conferences here now, the ACC, and we'll go down to Winston-Salem for this one. North Carolina State, a 9-point road favorite, total of 162 against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Once again, same theme here. The better team usually controls the tempo. In this case tonight, that is North Carolina State, the unquestioned better team in this game. 10th in the country in tempo according to Torvik's metrics, 9th according to Pomeroy's metrics. Lots of foul potential in this game as well. Both of these teams very aggressive on the offensive glass. You've got an NC State team that's 8th in offensive rebounding percentage in the country. Wake Forest 42nd in that department. So Wake Forest is not an efficient team, but they really do hammer the offensive glass hard. So that could get us some of those shortened possessions with the shot clock reset, and also could get us a lot of fouls in this game as well. When you look at NC State here on the year, this is a team that is very, very good offensively. 7th in the country in effective field goal percentage. Wake 316th in 2-point percentage defense at 55.4%. So I was looking at the over for this game a little bit initially, the total 162 for this one, because like I said, I think we get a lot of fouls, we get a lot of offensive rebounds, maybe some high percentage putback chances, things of that sort. But as I dug more into the game here, I think a high-scoring game really does benefit North Carolina State, who is far and away the better offensive team here between these two programs. Wake Forest gets to the free throw line a lot, so maybe that does help them in terms of keeping this game close. But I still think NC State, more athletic, more efficient, much better offensive team, better coach team as well with Kevin Keats. I do think this is a higher scoring game, so I lean towards over 162. But with the heightened tempo, with NC State having more possessions here, I like North Carolina State -9 in that battle down there in the Tar Heel State. So the 3 plays for the Tuesday 3-pack here tonight: St. Louis -7.5, Valpo and Loyola Chicago under 127, and then NC State -9 over Wake Forest, and then also do like the over 162 just a little bit in that game but it doesn't quite make the cut for our Tuesday 3-pack. I'm Adam Burke for BangTheBook.com.